babies. That's our old buddy Merlin, a local magician here in Crestone, Colorado, with his rendition of Just Let Go, babies. Just let go. Let it be done with. Let it be gone. Just let go. Don't attach yourself to anything, anywhere, anytime, babies. Just let go. Be done with it. And baby, if you can't let go, if there's something going on in your heart that says, wow, man, can't do that, can't do that, can't do, just go pay attention. Give yourself some time. Take some space, babies. Do your work. In other words, just kick back. Get yourself in an easy chair or an easy place. Tune into your heart and start to ask some really deep questions of yourself. Go with the flow of this energy of love. It'll guide and direct you through the unraveling of the mystery in your own heart. That which has tied you up and torn you to pieces at different times in your life brings you back together now. The very same energy that separated you brings you back together. The very same. Babies, it's the nature of energy. Our perceptions have been altered to see some things negatively and darkly and other things as light. It's part of our life in this illusionary polarity. Do you understand this polarity does not truthfully exist? That suns and earths and people can't shift polarities, though we see it all the time. So what does that mean? It means polarities do not exist. That's the unreality. That's the illusion. But we had to know this world. We had to polarize it and step into it and be separated from ourselves, flinged in half and tossed in directions we never imagined for ourselves. It's like a whirlwind come and caught us. Wham! We were out there before we knew what happened. Our passions were out of control. Our bodies were invaded by an energy we didn't understand, couldn't contain, couldn't control. At least, man alive, it was crazy times, babies, back there. Not too far from the beginnings of time, not too far from the step into the devolution we call humanity now. A step out of it now as we revolute, baby, as we revolt inside and no longer choose to take that ride that sees polarity in everything, that sees positive and negative. That is a dance in judgment, severely. But babies, we had to know it. We had to grow in it. Like I say, we're babies. We had to wake up by going to sleep and taking that dance through darkness and living in hell for a good long time and having our souls practically ripped to pieces 1 billion times over. And our old heart so sensitive. Well, babies, I was going through some things this week, man, and it's like, wow, I was dealing with some very real human feelings that I hadn't had in a long time and couldn't see the source of. I couldn't imagine where these come from because it's not my attitude. My attitude's always gratitude for everything. And any of those speck of love that comes my way, it's beautiful, man, and I appreciate it, whatever form it takes. And baby, some of it I have to dismiss from me because it's, just not quite there where I am, or I'm not quite there where whatever, you know what I mean? But at the heart level, we all grok. We all join. So this polarity, this idea that we can't get along with each other, this opposition, this opposites that we experience here, we created this reality in the darkness so that we could know and better appreciate our life. How else but by removal could we become to feel blessed for being in love, for living in love, for recognizing that we are love and becoming the creation that we are. Holy cow. So in that way alone, this has been a valuable experience. But yes, the insanity of people bombing women and children and families because they disagree with the politics or religion or race or something of some other form of human being. They just haven't recognized themselves there yet. They haven't recognized the torment they're heaping on themselves and how they never will escape the darkness until they see the light inside themselves. So babies, let's help them do that once again here as we share our heart and our love with those who live in darkness, and help them overcome that pain by overcoming that pain inside ourselves, by retraining ourselves to examine closely the heart and its experience in everything, to let the love of the heart be our constant guide. Babies, to let go, just let go of what's been holding on to us for so long in that heart. But first you got to see it and recognize it. Then you got to understand why it's there. That there was a way of restricting our heart to the point we couldn't see ourselves. And this energy that we experience there in this hard area that's kept us from ourselves is that very energy we designed ourselves to keep ourselves from. Catch it at 22 as usual, eh? It's always going that way. But babies, because you can go inside and see the origins of any feelings or any traumatic effect of anything that you're experiencing that you need to unravel, it's holding you back in any way from the heart, I mean, in the fullness of this expression. Well, babies, you'll be directed if you give yourself the time, if you just take the time. Now, I had some little software breakdowns conveniently over the past couple of days and finally got back online today, just in perfect time. I mean, just barely got this thing installed and operated, maybe not an hour and a half before the show was to come on, you know. But I had a great day because I gave myself some time that I haven't had in a while. Because of the breakdowns, I just said, heck with it. I can't do an afternoon show. I need some time to grow. And so I took it. And I did a little video and posted it. If you haven't seen it, it's called From the Heart. And it's right there. And what you're hearing tonight is kind of like completions of the cycles I began in that video as a person. But also for all of us. You know, what I experience, we all experience. You know, we are the heart of humanity. We are together in all things. And I know you're still sad out there inside, that you still haven't quite got the ride. I know you really want to port that feel it. Doggone hornets come in here at night, man, and you know I had to dispatch one, and it's still, oh man, poor thing. They don't do that though, and they land on you and try to sting you, and it's not pleasant. So, wow. I tell you, it's been a weird year here for bugs. We don't usually get this many bugs. Usually we're pretty bug free, but oh my goodness, this year it sure has been. We had some spring and early summer rains, and it's kept it kind of wet and green here. So the bugs have come along to help us enjoy it, you know. Some of those aren't so pleasant. This is part of what we're changing, though, the experience here of opposition. Even in the bug world, even in the snake world, yeah, etc. Anything that seems hostile to us. Nature herself, for example, as most people live it, is hostile. They think it's rough and they have to carve their way into it and, you know, make your mark on it in order to live. It's not quite right, babies. When you get in the flow, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So just open your heart and cruise. Babies, your life will change. Take it inside. Give yourself the ride. Do it again and again and again. And babies, you will find, like I am, resolving energies. You'll come clearly to see positive moments for any effect that's bothering you inside. And babies, I can't tell you how free I feel today, tonight, even though I'm still processing the whole thing. You know, it shook me right to my core. But of course, in some way I knew it already. I just had to see the dynamic in which it was planned. And I hadn't seen that. It went way too deep for me. It was hidden way down there in that polarity, babies, that darker end. So I just had to go there and mess around with it a little bit. These hot springs that we live nearby here are very magic, and they really help. And that's what I was able to give myself today, a good 3-4 hours soak out there. Wow. And my little dog Oki was a little more cooperative. I mean, everything just worked out. It was a beautiful day, man. Just awesome. And I got out of there just as the storms were approaching. You know, you don't want to be in the water when the lightning's coming. Unless you really want to be enlightened, in which case, hell, stay there and see what happens. You might grow an inch or two, you might fly to a frazzle, who knows? But let fate determine. I know I've been hit by lightning in similar circumstances, and I've certainly lived to tell about it. And I'm not too fried for it, you know. In fact, I think I'm doing all right, considering where I've been. You know, shoot, baby. You can live and tell about anything if you've got a good attitude, a good disposition, a good inclination inside of yourself. And you may not even know it or see it, but the more you see it, the more blessed you will feel. You know? And that's the whole idea here. Babies, if you can appreciate the darkness for the light that it's given you, for the motivation that's come forward through it, if you can see it as a very harsh teacher, a trainer, a mean-ass friend that doesn't know any difference, if you can see it in that sardonic, cosmic joke sort of way, if you can understand the love behind it, then you've just seen yourself in all elements of yourself. And you've brought yourself back together again. And you will heal it all. And the darkness will be as no more, and neither will as the gracious, too much light. All we do is live in graciousness. All we do is live in love. It's very simple. We embrace the gritty, we get rid of the shitty. Quite a nice little motto now, wouldn't you say? Embrace the gritty, get rid of the shitty. Then move your ass out of that dirty ocean. I'd go on from there, baby. But it is how it goes. When I say move your ass out of that dirty old city, I'm talking about that city of despair where we've all lived inside. You know, there is a city of light, and that's the other side of it. But it's the fullness of the coin. It's not the flip side. It's all of it. You see, the magic's in the mystery unraveling. The magic is in seeing through the divine illusions we've created here. But babies, you got to have this light attitude to do it. As long as you're crawling around in the misery, babies, you can't expect to crawl out of it until you lighten up a bit. Give yourself the allowance, the chance to be it. Well, how do you do that? You understand the love inside. You let it come. You embrace it. The releasing you're feeling right now, you embrace it in these quiet moments in your life. And then when you're not so quiet, you dance with it. Every chance you get, you commune with it. You commune with your heart. You bring these energies together this way. The more you explore yourself, the more you bring yourself back together, the more real this world becomes for you, the less illusion you live in. Our days with the illusion, the darkness, the polarity are over with. Our nights are over with as well. Hard to believe, I know, and you don't have to believe it. Let it come. Let it be. And it'll show itself to you, babies. It's the time of miracles, but miracles are our business. That's what we do every day, day in and day out. We are the miracle of creation itself, living in human form in any abject way. We are that creation, that great love and motion, and we have great opportunity here to experience the full richness of this love and to let it become everything in our consciousness, everything in our reality. For that's what it is anyway. We removed ourselves from it for a while. Understand we did this voluntarily. It's not a tragedy, no matter how it seemed in its application. We're players. We played our parts. We did what we had to do when we broke our hearts for a fucking eternity. And the likelihood of ever getting them back together again, pretty damn slim. Yet here we are, baby, and it's happening. It's ripening into it in its own way, its own time. It has its own way. We know where we're going. We can see that. We can feel that. Getting there is the other end of it. We allow mucho flexibility there. for the allowance of the experience of others as well as ourselves to grow in the richness of this transformation. To suck the marrow out of life, more or less, babies, to get right down to the grit of it. And embrace it with the love and respect that it deserves. All of it. Don't remove yourself from any part of life. You can transform every bit of it, and you are already. But when you remove yourself from any form of life, you've removed yourself from life. An element of yourself. Do you understand? I don't mean you would see what I'm saying. Inside, these energies of love that move in you. Some seem very disagreeable, and you try to isolate those energies, not understanding their reality. As you do come to understand, put some focus and attention on them in your quiet moments, and you come to understand these things. You come to understand the terms with them. And you work it out rapidly. What took me and these old timers to be, 15 years take you 15 seconds. No time at all. You're free already in the heart. It's just a matter of unrealizing the judgment we've placed upon ourselves for the unreal things that happen in the unreal world as we stepped into it and begin living this unreal life that brought forth so much reality. So much real love. The darkest moments bringing forth the brightest moments of love. The deepest movements of compassion and care. Goodness gracious. And heroism beyond belief. And I'm not talking about the valor of war. I'm talking about the valor of the heart to be loving in times like these. When love seems to be curiously absent from all areas of life that you can see around you, yet is the very element by which we live. Wow, guys. Wow. Ain't it crazy how we've chosen to do it? Just nuttier than a darn old fruitcake, ain't it, baby? But we are unraveling. We're getting to the bottom of it tonight here on the Coyote Medicine Show. We ain't gonna let the son of a bitch sit around and stink no more, baby. We gonna turn it into rock and roll right here in our soul. We lighten up, babies, because our hearts take flight with great delight, because we know we've got it right. We know we're through with the worst of it. And now the best is yet to come. But it's already inside of us growing. Happiness permeates this reality. It seems an unbelievable truth that's been hiding below the surface is about to reveal itself, fully and presently. The more we as human beings work in that direction inside, yes, the closer that moment comes. The divine truth is its presence revealing itself in this reality in fullness once again. And it's right there before your very eyes and ears. Nothing you have to conjure up from any other realm or avenue. Your eyes just simply open to see, because your consciousness expands into the fullness of its awareness. You see, we're dealing with the raw and basic elements of human life, of human existence, of the controls issued over us in the beginnings of time, that have been practiced over us ever since. We're undoing the effects of slavery, in other words. You may not know it, babies. You've been a slave to these feelings, these emotions, these compulsions that you will get. There's been an emptiness that you've operated from as well as a fullness that you found. There's a beginning of a new life inside of you that will never ever go away. It's bungle in the jungle, yes indeedy, and step right out of it too, into the light of day. And no, you no longer have to go through the organic darkness in order to see the unraveling of your divine mystery. You can appreciate where you've been, babies, and you just let it go. Like our old buddy Merlin says, just let go. Grab your neighbor.